What's up, guys? So, this episode was actually recorded 3 months ago, the beginning of February, and Ben and I have been forced into a hiatus. So, sorry for disappearing. This is just an episode that I sat on for a while, just didn't want to release anything because we couldn't do any more episodes, anyways. But we're back, so we're putting this episode out now, even though it's extremely old. I know, I'm sorry. And then we will be back in a couple of weeks with brand new content. So thank you for sticking with us, and we hope you enjoy this very late episode, and we'll be back. Thank you much.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's serious podcast. It's episode 75, or 76, actually, and my name is Ben, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, David.
We have somehow traveled back from the past. Or is it back
no, it's
from the
back to the future. Back to the future, David, okay? All right?
Are we sure about that?
No, I'm not sure about anything anymore.
Okay, that's what I thought. What's up, guys?
So we've got it's a little bit of a slow news week, but I think we found some decent stuff to talk about. Couple of important things, actually, but nothing as big as last week, unfortunately. Or last episode, I should say. We're going to talk about the next couple episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, or as those in the know call it, the Mandalorian. And then we're going to watch some fun trailers. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, first things first. We've talked about Starlink before. We've talked about how interesting the concept is, how well it's been working, because I think we talked about a review of it when they started shipping all the beta stuff out. And now, is it SpaceX that's doing Starlink, or is Starlink its own thing?
Oh, goodness gracious.
I think it's SpaceX.
I don't know, to be honest. It may be its own thing, but SpaceX is definitely going to be the thing that's taking it where it's going. So,
whether or not the decision to add a premium tier is a change from SpaceX's previously stated plan to avoid tiered pricing. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
So SpaceX has, well, like I literally just said, decided to venture into the tiered pricing category, or tiered pricing, I guess, category of pricing, like basically every other internet provider already does.
Yep.
Except this time, you're paying $500 a month, and you get a different antenna. Basically, that's it.
Better download speeds with the bigger antenna.
Yeah.
So we've turned it into an antenna measuring contest.
Basically, yeah. Yep.
$500 a month, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
goodness.
That's definitely going to be out of the reach for most people. Which, I mean, see, we've talked about, like I said, we've talked about Starlink before. I think their main customer is going to be people in very rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're introducing a price tier that's going to be way out of most people's price ranges, especially the people that live in said rural areas. I mean, you're going to have the odd millionaire, billionaire out in the boonies with their horse ranch or whatever trying to get internet. Sure, maybe they're going to pay for your $500 internet, but that's not where most of your business is going to come from. So I honestly don't really understand this at all. I don't.
Okay, so I would say it is probably a fantastic way to raise capital and because it's the existing technology that's already in place for the standard users. So It's a way to subsidize the cost of what they've had to do, the launching of the satellites, the building of the satellites, and everything that goes along with it. That's expensive. This can't be a cheap endeavor. So I'd say it's a pretty smart and strategic way to subsidize the price. That way you don't have to increase the price of the regular tiered users, but we've kind of muted that point by what you said exactly. Like, this is pretty much only going to be for those who have no other option. And while the regular option is fantastic, this is just stupid as far as the cost difference goes. So
I don't
I'm with you
understand.
on this. It's like, what's the point? You might get somebody, yeah, but it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
Not on the
I don't
scale that
understand
you
why they
want.
wouldn't put the R&D that they put towards this towards just making the regular antenna better. Instead, they had to go and make an all new antenna and charge out the wazoo for it. Again, for something that almost nobody is going to get.
I don't know. There, maybe we're underestimating the potential market for this.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just oof. That is a huge cost increase, and it's not really it's not like it's scaled in a linear fashion either. I mean, you're going from like 100 to 200, maybe, depends, up to 500. So 3 times up to 5 times as fast, depending.
Right.
But it's way more than 3 to 5 times the money. Like,
Mm-hmm.
eesh. Excuse me. And you got to pay $2,500 for that satellite up front, which is how many months? 5 months worth of service?
Mm-hmm.
And then $500 a month? I would just stick with the original service and call it that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with
If I
you.
had to go this route.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thankfully, we both live in an area where this wouldn't be our only choice.
Thank God for that. I'm quite happy with my choice. And even, well, this is basically comparable to what I have. If they're going up to 5, I've got 4. $99 a month. That's not what I'm paying because I got a discount, but that's what retail is. $99 a month.
Yep.
Way better than this. So why would I ever want to do it unless I had to?
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
Okay, let's move on from that. We'll get back to good old Elon here in a little bit, but for now, talk about the real life version of Lex Luthor, or at least his company, I guess.
So we want to talk about price increases, huh? Oh, I've got another price increase for you. Amazon is I know, everything just sucks. Inflation sucks. Amazon is increasing the US price of Prime. It is going from $119 a month to $139 a month. Annually. I said a month. Why did I say that? That would be awful. 119 a month?
Jeez.
Give us another 15 years, we might be there.
God, I hope not.
139 annually.
Netflix is gonna get there before Amazon does.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's going in effect immediately for new users starting the 18th. Existing users, it'll be whenever your billing cycle after the 25th of March is. So if you renew before then, I think mine did for the year, if I remember correctly.
Mine will this month sometime, so I'm good. Hopefully. Well,
hopefully.
Thankfully.
It might be another year before we have to pay this. I don't remember when mine is up, actually. I'll have to check that. They're citing higher transportation cost and wages, as well as expanded products and services within the membership as reasons for the price change. It's gone up
I
a
don't know.
few
Maybe you
times.
should just tax your CEO a little bit more. Maybe be okay.
Rising transportation cost? Okay, I believe that.
Yeah.
Wages? You should have been paying those already. I'm sure they're not high enough as it is. So, yeah, just take it out of Bezos' pocket.
I think it's 15 an hour for the warehouse workers, and knowing how, at least from what I've heard, knowing how bad the working conditions are, I don't even know if that's enough.
I have no clue, but I've heard the same horrible stories you have, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Right. It's $20 a year. I'm not too upset about it.
No.
I spend more than enough. I used to spend a lot more. I've cut back a lot, thankfully, in Amazon.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't need as much stuff as I used to. But even still, I spend more than enough, and I get enough out of the other services that it's well worth it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it still sucks because that and everything else is just climbing through the roof. Where's my pay
Yep.
raise to match it?
Yeah. That's never going to happen.
I know. Mm.
Okay. So, in case you were wondering, the Pixel 6 was a very good seller for Google. It was apparently uh excuse me. It was a quarterly sales record for the for Pixel phones. Um technically the quarter also included the sales of the Pixel 5a. But the Pixel A series doesn't really change a whole lot year to year, so it's mostly going to be sales of the Pixel 6, which I believe considering the phone, you know. Let's see. Google's highest number of phone shipments came in 2019. When the Pixel A series first launched, Google only shipped 7 million devices for that entire year. Pixel distribution is currently the worst it has ever been, with the Pixel 6 only available in 9 countries. Wow. And the Pixel 5a only for sale in 2 countries. Early supply chain reports said Google has hopes for high hopes for the Pixel 6 range, and has asked suppliers to prepare 50% more production capacity for the handsets compared with pre-pandemic levels in 2019. Even though this has not felt like enough units, as the Pixel 6 was constantly sold out as soon as it was announced, which frustrated many potential customers. I'm really glad that even though shipping took a little while, I'm glad that we bought ours basically as soon as we could, because, oof, wow, that would suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's been like this off and on, but they've got a screenshot at the store the day after launch. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. For the Stormy Black, the White, and the Sorta Sunny.
Mm-hmm. I think I ordered mine the day of the
The
launch,
day
so
of, yeah.
I get very lucky on that.
I mean, I'm not surprised. It was pretty well hyped. Everybody liked it. It got really good reviews in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of faltered a little bit towards the end of the year with a somewhat bad update that they
Yeah.
then pulled before it got to everybody, because I realized we've screwed up. But this is exactly what I was expecting out of a first gen in-house solution from Google. It basically is landed right where I expected it to. It was going to be really, really good, and then something was going to happen, and then they'll fix it, and it'll be really, really good. It's almost clockwork at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly how I predicted it. Hopefully this month's update's a little bit better and it doesn't get delayed. January's fixed everything, as far as I can tell, with the people that had issues. I didn't have any issues at all the entire time, with the exception of a weird charging situation where it kind of bugged out and wouldn't charge randomly. I have no idea what caused that, but it's fine. So
Who knows? Who
Let's just
knows?
chalk that up to a fluke.
Yeah. That's usually what it comes down to. Technology is just stupid sometimes.
If we
Yeah,
if we had
I
anything
don't
else to
know.
say, we'd be lying about that. Like honestly, like
Yeah.
what have we not
I
had something happen to?
I haven't had a ton of issues with it either. I think I had a couple of times where the cell service dropped out. But again, I reiterated time and time again, it was just that I restarted my phone and that takes not even like 15, 20 seconds now. And the phone is back up, ready to use, basically right away, and it fixed the cell issue. So
You don't have your old phone, do you?
no, I shipped it back.
Okay. I thought you did. I kept my old one. It still worked, just don't know how well. I started using it again because there was a game on it that I can't get to transfer over to my new phone, at least the data portion. They don't have like a cloud backup.
Uh,
And I'm too far along in the game to give up on it. It's like, no, I'm not starting from scratch again. And I started using it and I'm like, this is so slow. This is awful. The menus are buggy and it takes forever to restart. And it's like, I live with this? I thought this was fine. I had no idea how much smoother the Pixel 6 was until I went back to that and it's like, oh, this is a change. And for the better.
but I didn't really notice a whole world of difference. At least not probably not as much as you did because I
Well, I
already
didn't
had a
at
Pixel. I
first
think
either, but when I went back, it's like, oh,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there was much of a difference for me except for the screen refresh rate. That was the biggest difference. Just feels smoother. Let's move on to back to good old Elon Musk, shall we?
if I didn't know any better, I'd somehow think we planned these articles in order because we just talked about bad updates. And here we go with a
Mm-hmm.
Tesla bad update. Oh, they had to issue a silent seatbelt issue. Had them issuing a recall for almost 1 million cars, over 800,000 to be specific. So luckily, it's just a software fix. They don't have to do anything to the car besides send out the update. But apparently, and I've always hated this, and I understand why they do it, but I didn't know it was a federal law either that
Neither did I.
mandates that you have a chime in your seatbelt that says "Buckle up, you ding dong!" if you have started your car without putting your seatbelt on and you've put it in. Mine will chime for like 2 minutes going down the road if I don't have a seatbelt on. Like I can't even get out of the driveway without a me. It's like I'm just moving the car. I don't need my seatbelt. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. They did not have that chime. Apparently, it was a fluke.
Whoopsie daisy.
You had a very weird set of circumstances that had to happen for it to have this bug. But you'd have to get in, not put your seatbelt on, move the car, which creates a drive cycle. And if you turned off the car again or stopped that specific drive cycle without having stopped the seatbelt warning by plugging in your seatbelt, it would not alert the next time you got into the car and did not use your seatbelt. So it's a very weird set of circumstances. But if you went back over 13 miles an hour, it would start working again. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
fluke, it's weird, it's stupid. But it's like you're supposed to be the company that's leading the charge on electric vehicles, and you're supposed to be the company that's supposed to make this stuff affordable. You can't get stuff shipped out correctly, and you can't keep things from being broken in the field. How are we supposed to trust you guys?
I mean,
What else are they going to have?
at least they don't have to repair anything. It's just a software update thing. Could be worse.
It could be much worse. They could literally have to change like a buckle or something to
Yeah.
fix the issue. So I'm glad it's not that, but it's like, ugh.
I'm sure they're glad it's not that too.
Yeah, I'm sure that would cost them a lot.
A little bit, yeah. Okay. Now on to some good update news. We got a tweet, not today, yesterday, in the morning from everybody's favorite Rockstar Games. I'll just read it because, I mean, summarizing it would kind of defeat the whole point. So, many of you have been asking about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we've previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development is underway for the next entry in the series is underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our entire team, we want to thank all of you for your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you. So yes, Rockstar has finally confirmed that they're working on GTA 6. Not only just working on it, but actively developing it. Which means hopefully it'll come out within the next like 5 years or so. We'll see. Rolling my eyes a lot at that there, but
I'm rolling
we'll
my
see.
eyes a little bit about that, and I'm also rolling my eyes at the top comment that's beneath it.
Which one, about the family friendly option?
Uh-huh. This is not the game to ask for a
I
family
can
friendly
only ask
version
for a
of.
family friendly option. Obviously, violence is going to be a feature, but there is something to be had. As an example, with using corny, silly, bonkers voice lines instead of just full obscenities. Granted, it is a GTA game, but still. Sure, yeah, whatever. Okay. I don't I don't understand what the point of that would be, but yeah, whatever. Anyway. So had you heard about this before I
No,
brought it
no,
up?
I had no idea. I mean, it was kind of obvious at some point that they maybe finally might do it,
Yeah.
but it's been kicked down the road for so many years. It's like, unless you're going to just do a whole new game, there's no way people would let them get away with doing another series addition to something else, like a Red Dead 3,
Yeah.
before doing a GTA 6.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since we kind of just got that. I mean, it hasn't been out that long, but this is the longest stretch there's ever been between a GTA release, and I've been asking
Yeah.
for it for years. So I'm glad that it's finally on its way. I can't wait to see what they do. I have high hopes. I haven't been disappointed with 5 at all, with the exception of I kind of wanted more DLC, but whatever. They kept it alive with online. I just don't like online.
Yeah.
It's not really that fun to me. Call me boring if you want.
Yeah,
I
I
wanted a
couldn't
good story mode.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it either. I mean, you've got the um playlists and everything with the races and whatnot, but I don't know. That's not really what made the story mode fun to me. So,
The only time I ever played it was with you. It's only because I was playing with you that it was any fun.
yeah.
Any other time, it's like, ugh, no, I don't want to do this. So I'm glad they're finally doing it. It's kind of a reversal of what I heard a few years ago. I think it was Dan that said something about that it wasn't sure if they could do a 6 just because of everything that kind of happened in the world with like the PC charge of this and that and everything else that kind of happened. And it's like,
I
how do
mean,
we do another game?
they might have to tiptoe a little bit more about certain subjects, but I don't think that they need to not do a GTA game, you know?
I don't think so either. I think they could easily do it. They just might have to. You might not be able to do what you did in the past, but
Right,
there's
yeah.
plenty of ways to have non-racist, non-sexist, non-gender bashing, sexual orientation bashing, or anything. Like, there's plenty of ways that you could not offend everybody in the process.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
don't do any of those said things, and you should be okay. Feature those characters, and it might actually make it easier to pass off. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Who even knows?
And I'm just glad to see it finally happen. God knows how long it's going to take, though.
We'll just have to see.
2024, maybe, if we're lucky. We might have a trailer by then. We'll be lucky to have a game by 2025. It might be 2026.
I don't even know, dude. I don't even know.
That's scary.
Like I said, it's probably going to be another 5 years before we get another one.
Too long.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our final story, shall we?
So they finally shipped it, or at least they're going to finally ship it. Valve is confirming the Steam Deck shipments, and they're finally releasing it. So for those who haven't heard about it, it's going to be their new portable gaming-centric PC. It's running basically their customized version of Linux, Steam OS. We'll see how well that works. They're supposedly supposed to have a ton of games. They originally said they were going to have the entire Steam library. That's not ever going to happen. I don't know why they ever thought that was going to happen. There's just too much challenges with PC gaming on Linux to have the entire library playable, but we'll see. And they finally announced that it's going to go on the 25th, apparently, of February. They have shipped out actual units. There's a couple of creators that have them. They just can't really do anything with them yet because of NDAs and whatnot. I don't know. It might be really good. It might be another Switch. I can't tell yet. I mean, I like the Switch, but I never got it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. The Switch is in a special place because it has games specifically made for it. This is going to be a different story. I don't know. We'll just have to see how well the games that are supposed to work with it, you know?
I'm just having a hard time finding some I'm having a hard time imagining finding something that I'd really want to play in this format versus playing it on the actual PC.
Yeah.
Unless I really like the controller style, but I can just use the controller on the computer too. So it's like, what am I going to use this for? If I was more into portable gaming, I'd probably love it that much more. But I don't have time to do it if I'm not.
If you were more into portable gaming, you'd probably be better off getting a Switch anyway, because there's a lot of, I mean, not everything, obviously, but a lot of platformers and stuff that are on Steam that also end up making their way to the Switch too, just because they're platformers. It's gonna be the hardest game to run in the world. So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much it actually lives up to its expectations.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. It's just it's gonna be another one of those wait and see things, like we say all the time. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk the Book of Boba Fett, aka the Mandalorian, because I genuinely don't know what else to call these last two episodes besides the Mandalorian, because that's what they are.
Before we get into it too deep, did you see this coming at all? Like, was there even a hint that this was the direction we were going to go?
I mean, I had once he said that he needed to hire muscle. I had I don't know. I guess an idea that we were probably going to see Mando again. Because, I mean, how many characters have we seen that Boba Fett actually knows, you know?
True. True. That would be one's first impression or first
Yeah.
thought of somebody, a potential candidate for muscle.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
didn't see this coming at all. I
No?
really didn't. I was totally surprised. Not by what it is. Like, okay, it's Mando. I get it. That makes total sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
I did not see the series going this direction at all. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. So, Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian. After Din Djarin tracks and kills the bounty, he delivers the bounty's head for directions to a Mandalorian hideout. There he finds the Armorer and Paz Vizsla, survivors of their tribe of Mandalorian warriors who inspect the Darksaber that he won from Moff Gideon. The Armorer explains that whoever wins the Darksaber in combat can become the ruler of Mandalore, though their civilization was destroyed by the Empire. The Armorer turns Djarin's Beskar spear into a gift for his former charge Grogu. Vizsla, a descendant of the Darksaber's creator Tar Vizsla, challenges Djarin to a duel for the saber. Djarin defeats Vizsla, but reveals that he previously broke their tribe's code by removing his helmet. Rejected by the tribe, Djarin takes commercial transport to meet Pelimato on Tatooine, who has an old N1 starfighter to replace his previous ship, the Razor Crest. Together, they fix and modify the starship, and Djarin takes it for a test flight. Upon his return, Fennec Shand arrives and asks Djarin to assist Boba Fett in the upcoming war. He agrees, but only after he visits a friend. So this episode was basically just a Mandalorian episode. Like there was it was like 0.05% Boba Fett because Fennec Shand showed up at the end, but that was literally it. It was all the Mandalorian, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I kind of understand why they did it because we already knew that he was probably going to be hired for the whole muscle thing. I kind of wish that they would have left it as something like his meeting with Grogu as something for him to do whenever the Mandalorian season 3 rolls around. Unless this is a portent and this is the last that we're ever going to see of the Mandalorian. Which, who knows? Now that I'm seeing these episodes, it could very well be that. Why else would you stick an entire episode of another series into this other series that you're making, you know? Besides that, it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. I am glad to see the Darksaber back. Glad to see these more glimpses or more references to the Clone Wars series in that. So, and also his new ship is really freaking cool. I like it a lot.
It is definitely a lot better than the. Oh gosh,
The Razor Crest.
Razor Crest. Thank you. It was right at the tip of my tongue, and then I couldn't say it.
So, what do you think?
I don't know how. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what am I judging this as? Am I judging this as an unofficial episode of The Mandalorian?
I mean, what else is it?
Or am I judging this as an episode of the Book of Boba Fett? Or do I just judge it as how I felt about
maybe
a show?
You judge it. Maybe you judge it as a crossover episode, because that's basically what this episode and the next episode are.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so are you asking if I like the episode or not? Is that really all we can ask about this?
I mean, what else can you say about it?
Yes, I like the episode. It was fun. I liked it. I have no idea what to say about it beyond that. I
Yeah,
mean, it kind of
I'm kind
led
of with
more
you
into
on that.
chapter 6. I mean, where it went, kind of. I think it kind of elevates it a little bit. Like, had we not had the follow up that we got, it'd be like, what the heck did I just watch?
Yeah,
But also at the same time, I'm thinking you probably could have cut them down into one.
maybe.
Like, we went
I don't know.
really off track for the Book of Boba Fett to get the storyline that we got for this episode. Especially with the whole. I mean, I like the dark saber. Don't get me wrong, but that whole fight and the smelting and this and that whole side quest thing is totally unnecessary for the Book of Boba Fett. So I'm kind of torn, to be honest. I don't know. It was a good watch. Let's just leave it at that. Fair enough.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose.
Can't tell if you're judging me or not.
No, I kind of agree with you on everything. I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge this as one way or the other because it's not. It is an episode of The Mandalorian, but it's also not an episode of The Mandalorian because we're not watching The Mandalorian.
It would feel
So
like it.
yeah. So what would you give this out of five dark sabers?
3.
A three?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would give it a 3.5. I still really like the episode, even though it went way off track. Like way off
That's
track.
the only reason why I'm giving it a 3. Because I really
Yeah.
feel like it could have been condensed down and the results, the final conclusion of what we got in 6 could have just been done in 5. Maybe make it a little longer, but cut out that whole fluff in the middle that really has nothing to do with the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, see, okay. I kind of agree with you, but I'm trying to. This Vizsla name sounds
Unless he's
okay.
important somehow.
Past Vizsla is obviously in this series. Free Vizsla is a character in the Clone Wars who is a Mandalorian and wielded the dark saber. He was not the ruler of Mandalore because in the Clone Wars, Mandalore was a democracy and they had a duchess and whatnot. But right towards the end of the Clone Wars, Mandalore gets overthrown by the Empire and the rogue faction of the Mandalorians called the Death Watch that Pre Vizsla leads, which is also where the Mandalorians clan of Mandalorians come from. I don't remember what they called themselves. Okay, so Pre Vizsla was the leader of Death Watch, and the cult slash clan that the Mandalorian is a part of is called Children of the Watch. The Death Watch was basically like they're kind of like a, I don't know, like a not necessarily evil faction, but they wanted to overthrow the democracy and go back to the wilder ways of Mandalore that happened before, which is also why Bo-Katan Kryze, who is in the Mandalorian season 2, yes, 2, she was also in the Clone Wars. That's why she said what she said. That's why she said that, his whole clan was like a cult, why they couldn't take off their helmets, blah 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 blah, because she was on the side of the Duchess and the original Mandalore, or the democracy of Mandalore, I should say. So anyway, This all ties back to the Clone Wars somehow, if you haven't figured it out. Anyway, let's go
So
move
are they
on to
trying to set something up? Is that what this is about?
in the Mandalorian. Maybe I don't really know about Boba Fett yet because he's not he's not technically a Mandalorian. His father was a Mandalorian foundling, and because he was his father's son, he has the rights to his father's armor, but it doesn't technically make him a Mandalorian per se. So I don't know if he factors into any of that at all. The reason why the Clone Wars factors so much into this is because Dave Filoni also works on this, and he was like the head honcho of the Clone Wars. He was like the creator and visionary and everything. That's where Ahsoka came from. Um,
I knew
that's
that.
where the Darksaber came from. That's where Cad Bane in this next episode came from. Uh, there's probably more things that I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but anyway,
So you're telling me I gotta watch Clone Wars?
it would be worth it to watch the Clone Wars. Yeah, I don't know about Star Wars Rebels because I haven't finished that, but there's a lot. There's a lot of references that you miss if you don't know them from the Clone Wars. Like, did you know? Did you know who the blue alien was when he showed up?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's Cad Bane, who was in the Clone Wars.
Nope.
He's kind of a big deal.
Just thought he was somebody from the Pike Syndicate or something.
He's like a major bounty hunter in the Clone Wars.
How much of there is there of that? Of the Clone
Like
Wars.
7 seasons. That's a lot.
That's fair enough.
Anyway,
that's why I liked the Book of Boba Fett before this, because it was so damn simple to follow along.
It's okay, David. It's okay.
All right, next.
All right. Chapter 6. From the desert comes a stranger. Cobb Vanth, Marshal of Tatooine's Freetown, formerly Mos Pelgo, confronts and shoots Pike Spice Runners. Djarin flies to a forested world to visit Grogu and is greeted by R2-D2 and Ahsoka Tano. Tano convinces Djarin that his presence will handle Grogu, so he returns to Tatooine after asking Tano to deliver a gift, a Beskar chainmail tunic, to the youngling. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker has begun training Grogu, his first student, to use the Force. Skywalker helps the youngling remember his home, the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, where he saw many Jedi killed during Order 66. Fett and his allies discuss their manpower shortage, and Djarin travels to Freetown to enlist Vanth and his people. After Djarin leaves, the hired gun, Cad Bane, arrives on behalf of the Pikes to order the town to be neutral in the upcoming war. Following a standoff, Bane shoots both the Marshal and his deputy. 2 Pikes later bomb the sanctuary in Mos Espa. Skywalker, bearing Djarin's gift, gives a choice to Grogu: take the chainmail and stop his training, or take Yoda's lightsaber and be trained as a Jedi. So when you were talking to me about this episode, what was the surprise that you were talking about? Was it the bombing at the end? What was it?
The cliffhanger that they left it on at the end.
Oh, between the chainmail and the lightsaber?
Yeah.
I'm honestly pretty interested to see where they go with that, but I don't think we're going to get an answer in this next episode.
That, to me, was the biggest surprise. I saw the bombing coming as soon as I saw them walking out. That's like...
Yeah.
The tell. You leave something behind that you came with, and you seem to have no interest in it whatsoever, and you leave it behind.
As soon as I saw them walk out empty-handed, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, something's going down here.
Something's going down." Like that. Yeah. That was the tell. And the way that the Pike Syndicate has handled themselves, at least as far as my suspicions are, we still have not found out and we may never find out who killed the Tuscans. I'm still pretty convinced that it has to be the Pikes, even though
Right.
it was made to look like it was the biker gang. And okay, maybe because of the speeders. Okay, I still think it's the Pikes. And that just follows along pretty well with what I believe to be their modus operandi right now.
Right.
So I wasn't surprised by that. It's looking like it's going to end up being a bloodbath, which is what I thought we were going to get into with 5 and 6. Like, okay, well, what's this series going to progress into? I'm really into it, and we we take a short turn at Albuquerque, and it's like, well, maybe I should have gone left and not right, because damn, I have no idea what's going on. And then we get back to chapter 6. It's like, okay, I know this person. I know this person. I know this person. At least I can follow along, dang it. And didn't know
Yeah.
Cad Bane. Okay. I knew what he was there for. I
Yeah.
at least understood his purpose. Whether or not I know the individual, that was okay.
Now, question about that
Uh-huh.
scene. Do you think the marshal is still alive?
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause he only got shot in his shoulder. At least that's what I saw. So,
I think he's still alive.
yeah. I'm thinking the deputy is dead and the marshal is still alive, and that's kind of the reason why everybody gets together and goes and fights in Boba Fett's war. Because there's no way that they're not going to show up there. No way at all.
Not after what happened there.
Yeah.
And I I don't believe for 1 second that the Pikes want anybody to remain neutral. They're going to want somebody to take sides, their side, obviously,
Right.
or they're going to eliminate the threat before it becomes a threat. And that's exactly what they did with him. So, or at least we'll see. I think he's alive. But keep going like that, which is why I'm so glad I kind of made this comparison at the beginning. I'm liking where Boba Fett's style of ruling has come into play at the beginning, where he's not ruling out of fear, he's ruling out of respect. That is what is going to get people to change sides more than anything else. Like, if you keep doing what you're doing, the Pike Syndicate is going to have everybody fearing them and wanting to go against them. And doing crap like that is not going to help them out at all. So,
Exactly, yeah.
that I'm not surprised about at all. And then we get to the end with Skywalker and Grogu, and it's like, geez, I wonder what he chooses. And then they don't let us see it. And it's like, okay. I guess I'll have to ponder on that one for a little while. But at least I understood who it was. And thankfully, The Mandalorian made me realize, even though I haven't seen Clone War stuff yet, at least I recognized Ashaka or Ashoku, whatever, however it's pronounced. I knew who it was. So it's like, okay, at least I got my bearings back for the most part.
Okay, so out of 5 little baby Yoda lightsabers, what do you rate this episode?
3.75.
Okay. I think I'm going to stick with a 3.5 again on this one.
Okay. So between us, we both balanced out at 3.5 for both episodes.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah.
Didn't really like it any more than the 5th one. It was kind of the same.
Not particularly. Like you were saying, I was getting really into where Boba Fett was going, and then they kind of just veered off to the left with The Mandalorian. It's not to say that they're not decent, good episodes, because they are. They're just... I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett to watch the story of Boba Fett, not to watch the story of Boba Fett, then 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, and then finish out the story of Boba Fett. You know?
Exactly.
So,
which is why I feel like it really could have been... You could have shortened up okay, maybe there's a reason with the introduction of the characters and the little bit of a side detour within the middle of episode 5 that I feel like could have been cut out. Okay, maybe there's a legit reason for that. Maybe other people have a reason for it or feel differently about it. I
Yeah.
really feel like that side conquest could have been taken out, and then basically the ending of what happened in this episode, as far as what happens between Grogu and Skywalker and Mando and all that, push that up into the ending of episode 5. Maybe that one would have to be a little longer, and then we could have gotten to the sheriff and the bombing and other things within
Yeah.
episode 6.
I think that the entirety of episode 4 should have just been the last scene with Shand and the Mandalorian. I don't know how they would transition into it. I don't know how or what the rest of the episode would be, but I genuinely feel like they could have done that and then just, I don't know, done another season of The Mandalorian where this was the first couple of episodes. You know?
I truly don't. I don't know where he needed to be introduced if he's going to be in the war. Fine, but I don't know what the rest of this is about. Unless, but I didn't see this coming, nor did I think anything was going to happen with it. Unless somehow Grogu is important in this war.
I mean,
between
maybe.
the
I mean,
Pikes?
we do have the option to see him take the chainmail and stop his training and go back to the Mandalorian. Not that he can do a whole lot, but he has been training in the Force, so I mean, he knows. He's at least remembering more of what he already knew. You know?
Yeah.
So
I really don't know. And I liked all of that too. I liked the training, or as Luke called it, more like helping him remember.
yeah,
Because it
right.
seemed like the kid knows it. It's just it's locked up in him. Because once he started catching on, he was actually doing pretty well with the jumps and this and that. And it's like, okay, he's got some potential, but as Luke put it, don't know where his heart is at. Like, is his heart in this or not? I don't know. But then we've seen this kid do really incredible stuff even without knowing or having the realization of what's going on. I mean, he levitated the rhino, or whatever you want to call it, way back in season 1 of The Mandalorian within like the first couple of episodes. It's like, okay, the kid's obviously got some force powers with him. Like, he's well in touch. He has no idea.
Yeah.
So maybe he's important, and that's why some of that is in there as well. I just don't know.
I don't know.
I thought we knew where this series was going, and they completely did something. It's like, oh, I give up.
Yeah.
I have no clue anymore.
We'll have to wait until the finale episode and see what happens there. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see.
I just hope they don't have too many loose ends at the end of this.
Right, yeah.
Like, how many holes did you poke in this bag, and how many are you going to tie off with the season finale? Or is it a series finale? We don't even know. Do we know if there's a chapter 2? Well, not chapter 2, but a season 2 confirmed with this? Mando's getting 3. We know that.
Right, yeah.
Have they said anything about a Boba Fett season 2? I don't know what you would do.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
What is it?
I'm looking at they've got a graph of the Rotten Tomatoes scores for each of the episodes.
Uh-huh.
We start out at like an 82 for episode 1, then we go up to a 90 for episode 2, and all the way down to like a 62 for episode 3. Then 86 for 5, or for a freaking 100 for episode 5, and then 94 for episode 6. So
5 and
I don't
6
know.
are somehow rated the highest out of this entire thing so far.
Yeah.
And it's the two that we're having the most difficult time reconciling what this means.
Yeah.
Maybe that just proves we don't know what the heck we're talking about.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we've always contended that we don't know what we're talking about, but maybe this is just the proof.
The proof
I don't know.
is
I
in the
don't
Rotten
see.
Tomatoes.
I don't see anything saying that we're getting another season of it. So I don't know.
I give up.
I don't know.
I really do give up. I think I know where things are headed, and they throw some curveball at me because I don't know the source material, because I've missed too much of this and that, and there's too goddamn much source material to pull from anyways, and it's all their fault because they say this is canon and then they say it's not canon, and then somebody says, oh, but it is because I said it is, and here it is in this official series on official Disney Plus, so suck it. And it's like, stop. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oy vey.
Come at me.
Okay, let's move on to the trailer, shall we?
Something else we won't know anything about.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so if you haven't listened to this section of the show before, David and I are going to watch a couple of trailers. I think we've only got a couple of movie trailers this time, because I picked out a couple of series ones that I wanted to watch. But either way, we're going to watch them. We're going to let you know whether we would see them in the theaters, whether we would wait for a rental, wait for a review, or whether we wouldn't see it at all. So far, I think we can still count on one hand how many we would say, or how many we said we wouldn't see at all. Only one of those is because it would scare the crap out of us, and that was last episode. What was it? Hatching?
The
Is
Hatching.
that the name of the movie? Yeah. That movie looked unappetizing, to say the least.
Unappetizing.
Yeah. But all the other ones were just straight up bad, so unless we specify, if we say that we're not going to see it, it's bad. It's just real bad. So, anyway, first trailer we've got for this episode is A Day to Die.
Jackson Police Chief is taking questions now.
On my watch, I will always protect the city, and it's all for you.
It's Tyrone.
They got Candace.
I need that debt you owe me.
What did you do to my wife?
What do you want, Connor?
Hey, brother, I need your help.
I need $2 million by midnight.
There's only one team I know that can pull this off.
Cap, where is she?
We're all watching you, Chief. We're all watching you.
Show's over.
Everything we've done till now has been under the cover of the flag. But this is outside the law.
So what's the plan?
We need guns.
Smash and grab.
Business as usual.
This can get ugly.
You have no idea who you robbed.
I'm kind of iffy on this one. It looks okay, but I don't know. It could go either way for me. I'm gonna have to say I'd probably wait for a rental on this one.
Were you leaning towards wait for rental and wait for a review, or movies and wait for a rental?
Or wait for rental / review, yeah.
Okay. I would say wait for a rental on this one. Pretty confident about that too.
Which side are you on?
Closer to the more positive side, like maybe see this in the theaters? Maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
but I'm
This
not.
just
I'm not
didn't get
sold
me.
on it. So
Yeah, I get the story. I don't know. It just didn't get me like fired up or anything like that. It just looks like another run of the mill action movie. So I don't
it's
know.
fair.
Whatever.
That's fair.
All right. So our next trailer is for the Orville season 3. Finally. You have no idea how long I have waited for the 3rd season of this freaking show to come out.
You're right. I have no idea because I would have no idea what the heck this is based on that trailer. I'm sorry. That is a trailer
Okay.
that is absolutely useless if you've never seen anything of the series before, and that is the worst possible way to get more people that have not seen it interested in it.
Realistically, that was not targeted towards new people, though.
No, obviously not. It did look
I would
good.
give this trailer a 10 out of 10. I love it.
I would give it a 2 out of 10. Based on that criteria. Now, what it actually is looks really, really good. What is this? Explain, please.
It's basically Star Trek, except it's funny. That was technically the concept for like the first season or so. But as you go on to like the 2nd season, it starts to take itself a little bit more seriously. It's still very funny, which is part of the reason why I kept up with the show. But there's also a lot of like actual science fiction in it too. So it's not just like Star Trek with fart jokes or whatever. It's a legit sci-fi show.
When did this come out?
The first season, probably like 2017, 2018, something like that.
Okay, and when did
Maybe
the 2nd season come out?
Huh?
When did the 2nd season come out?
Yep, 2017 was season 1.
Oh, 2018 for season 2? 2019?
2018 to 2019, yep. And it was 14 episodes. So I've been waiting
2 whole
3 years. No, 3.
2.
2020.
When did it end in 2019?
April. 2020.
2019.
2021.
Okay, so if it was April,
2022.
it would be 3 years.
Well, when it comes out, it's going to be more than 3 years. So I'm saying it's 3 years right now. I don't care.
Not April yet.
It's too freaking far. It's really good though. I would suggest. I know you don't necessarily have any interest in Star Trek, but It's a good show. I like it.
Did you watch Star Trek?
I've watched a little bit of The Next Generation, and I don't ask me why, but I've seen all of the Star Trek movies, like all of them. A while ago, there was a bundle going on. Well, like when I owned an iPod and basically exclusively used iTunes to buy stuff, there was a bundle sale going on for all of the Star Trek movies, and I bought them, and then watched all of them. So that's basically the extent of my experience of it. Besides the newer Star Trek movies that came out in the last couple decades.
Okay. So, based on your experience with this series, what did this trailer inspire? Did it look good? Like, are you happy?
I mean,
it was nothing but music. And
I genuinely
and
don't know what was going on except for music and explosions.
Okay. That's my problem with the trailer. It's a stupid trailer, Ben.
I don't know. Whatever.
It's a stupid trailer.
I'm just excited to see anything having to do with season 3, so I'm good.
But if you hadn't seen anything before, what would you say?
That's a lot of cool explosions. I might go watch this.
Done with you. Done with you.
Speaking of cool explosions, let's watch the trailer for Halo the series.
I didn't hear any ratings from you.
I said 10 out of 10.
You did say that.
Yeah, and then
Are
you
you
said
gonna
2 out
watch
of 10.
this? You're gonna watch this, right? It's a given.
I'm not even gonna answer that stupid question.
Fine. Next.
Halo the series. Let's go.
You. Humanity's best weapon. Master Chief, huh?
The Master Chief was enhanced and trained for one purpose: to win this war. He and the other Spartans are our only effective weapons against the Covenant. He is lethal, upgradable, and most importantly, controllable.
Covenant forces appear to be excavating some kind of object.
When I touched the object,
I felt something. I felt different.
What they did to us makes you numb.
And you just decided to help me. Why would a Spartan do that?
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
Why use this garbage remix of a beautiful Phil Collins song? Anyway. I'm sorry. That I hate that. Anyway,
Coming from a Tarzan lover, I'm not surprised.
I don't know. This looked good. I am interested to see where they take this. I'm glad that they're not, at least as far as I can tell, they're not just rehashing like the first game. It seems like they might be following the same general path. Like we're obviously going to get a Halo ring.
I mean, you can't rework it completely. I mean, there's going to be some fundamental truths that you are going to have to realize. Otherwise, it is not Halo.
Correct, yeah. You got to have Master Chief. You have to have the Covenant. You have to have a Halo ring. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You should have some kind of AI. It doesn't have to be Cortana. If you want to keep it true, yes, it should be. You could have renamed that. Wouldn't have made that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it serves the same purpose. I think you're right. I don't think it's going to follow, especially given we see the introduction of Cortana. It's been a while since we've played Halo, so correct me if I'm wrong. She was basically introduced right at the beginning, right? Like she was just there.
Yeah,
basically.
We get introduced to her within like the first not even minute or two of Halo 1.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought. It seems that they're building a fundamental purpose for why she is there in this series. It might be as a way to, as they put it, ensure controllability of the Master Chief. It was kind of stupid how they say, and we can control it. I rolled my eyes as soon as I heard that. I was like, when is he ever when is he ever not under his free will at this point? Like,
yeah.
He's done some stuff. Never anything bad, mind you, but like that man does what he needs to do. He ain't taking orders.
Yeah.
Just for laughs and giggles. So I was like, I don't believe that. And then we progressed to call it an artifact. I don't know what it was called in the game, and I forgot what they called it here, but we know what they're going for.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess it flips a switch, and now they need a reason for it. I can see that timeline, and I can see that story playing out. I like it.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. So good, in fact, that if I didn't already have Paramount Plus, I'd certainly be getting it for this. So that's good.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a good reason to have it. I'm excited. This looks like a genuine reason to actually have that now.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was like, do I have this for a reason? Now I will.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I think we can both safely say that we're definitely watching this, yeah? 10 out of 10?
Yes. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Our last trailer, which is going to be a little bit of a out of left field because I have literally no idea what it is. I just picked it. It's super cool. So we'll see if it's super cool.
So did you hear your girl Summer is having a party this weekend?
Not invited.
Why don't you just ask? What's the worst you think could happen?
Hey, Summer.
Yes.
I was just gonna see you. I'm never gonna get invited to a party now.
No.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No.
It's that bad, yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
See, one thing I'd wish for, second chance with Summer.
Yeah, you should make the wish at 11:11.
So if anyone makes a wish at 11:11, it comes true. Just wish Summer thought I was cool. Sweet baby Jesus. I'm Neil.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Rock, man.
I'm serious. I'm Neil. I know everything about you.
My first crush.
Sadly, it's my mom.
All right, fine. What's the all-time beat-off record?
11 and a half times.
Lucky guess. Your wish came true, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
What's up? Hi, my name's Ace.
Well, I'm Summer. See you at my party.
You finally have a second chance to step up and take your shot, baby. There's a lot of ass for one man.
Do you think I would have as many women as I do if I didn't have access to all the Porsches?
Yes.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Huh.
Ah,
Spicy.
right. That was good. That was really good. Okay.
You might
For the
need
rest
a
of the
dark
trailer,
sense of humor to enjoy that.
yeah. For the rest of the trailer, I think I was kind of on board until we got the random out of left field let's rob a convenience store.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Like, okay, we get the dude with the Porsches. He wants to go to the party. Now we're robbing a convenience store, and that's basically the rest of the trailer.
Where did that come from?
I genuinely, I don't get it. I don't. Like, this is supposed to be one of those, like, weird Disney-ish wish come true movies. Except, like, in, I guess, the Superbad universe where it's all raunchy and stuff, right? And then...
I guess.
I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine, Ben. I have no freaking clue. They lost me on this trailer.
Yeah.
But it's still funny AF.
It was funny. It was very funny. I think the last scene saved it for me. I was going to say just on principle because it made no sense that I would not watch this movie. I'm going to upgrade it to a wait for a review.
The only thing I'm concerned about, beyond the trailer making no effing sense whatsoever, the only thing I'm concerned about is that they've pulled every single funny scene out of the movie and stuck it in the trailer, and there's not going to be anything left. Now, if that's only like the start of the material, I would totally go see this. Not in the theaters. I just wait for a rental. I would totally see this because I just laughed my ass off the entire time, and I'm okay with it. It doesn't have to make a bullet.
It only has to make as much sense as you do.
Exactly. The bar is set pretty low at this point. But if it's not funny at all after that bit of what we've seen in the trailer, then it's just going to suck. So I have no idea. I'm torn between rental and review. I really am. I'm just going to have to err on the side of caution and say wait for a review.
That's fair.
If it's not funny beyond what we've seen and heard in this trailer, then this movie's just going to not make any sense at all.
Yeah.
And it won't have the comedy to save it.
Okay, well, that is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening / watching, whatever. If you're on YouTube, be sure to leave a like. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. If you're listening to us in audio format, be sure to leave a review, 5-star review, wherever you're listening to us, especially on iTunes, because apparently that helps. Don't know if anybody's listening on iTunes, but whatever.
No, we bash them too much.
Probably. We've had too many titles with Apple negative Apple press in the title to have anybody listen over there.
They've buried it, I'm sure. I'm like, oh, it's some Nimrods again. Well, we're just going to bury that. Some tiny corner in hell that you'll never see again.
Yep. All right, anyway. Thank you for listening. Be sure to stick around for the next episode, which will come out in another couple of weeks. And, yeah. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
You don't sound confident at all.
Nope, I don't.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast Period. This episode was hosted and produced by Ben, co-hosted and edited by David. You can contact Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidges. That's Ben Plays, VIDYAS. And you can contact David on Twitter at Car6by16. If you'd like to chat with us about any of the topics on this episode, you can hit the show up at Podcast Period on Twitter, or shoot us an email at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. That's all for this episode. We'll see you next time.